The self-help industry is teaching that boundaries are about protecting yourself. And I believe that's almost entirely wrong. I think real boundaries are about trust, about being your full self and trusting that other people are still going to love you. And most of us don't believe that. Most of us are terrified. And the people who've been through the most, people who've been experiencing loss, illness, or years of isolation, are worse at boundaries. Not better, worse. And I should know. I'm an emotional healing guide, and I went through years of isolation myself, and I'm still bad at boundaries. We're living in a culture that loves the word boundaries. Everybody's using it. You'll see it on every wellness account, every therapy meme, every breakup post. And so people think they're working on their boundaries, but really they're cutting each other off. They're blocking people. They're trying to work on their healing, but actually they're increasing their own loneliness. We're increasing our own disconnection across society. And I believe that's happening because something that we're calling boundaries, really, that's working on your fear of abandonment. A boundary is actually easy to set once you believe that the relationship can hold it. But most of us don't believe that. We've had too much evidence to the contrary. And that evidence is stored actually in the body. Something happened recently. I made a new friend. I was in Mexico and she kind of made a plan for us that I hadn't agreed to. But I didn't say no and I didn't say yes. And then she was walking away and I had to go and have another conversation with her about it to fix it. And I just kept over-explaining, over-apologizing. I just kept going. And it was making things get worse, not better. And that moment showed me something. What looked from the outside like bad communication on my part was actually something else. It was my nervous system struggling to stay connected to myself whilst noticing that someone else is disappointed. And that's where most boundaries work exists. Not in the words, but in the ability to stay connected and regulated when it feels like danger is present. The over-explaining isn't a weakness, it's a physiological response. The system is trying to preserve attachment. A real boundary is not a wall. It can be a test of a relationship though. A wall looks like I block you, or I disconnect on social media, or I never speak to you again. That's putting a real wall between us. Boundaries are about communication in real relationships. And they ask, am I allowed to be honest and still stay connected to you? When we put a boundary, we're not trying to make the person go away. We're trying to pull them closer so we can be our full self and be allowed to be honest in that relationship. It's a request for trust. It's a request for closeness, for moving forward in that relationship. This is totally misinterpreted in the way that people are talking about boundaries now in this culture, as though it's something that you use to push. And one of the reasons it's so difficult to put boundaries is that it allows the other person to make a choice. If I'm being my full self and saying, okay, this is what I do like, but this is what I don't like, and this is what I want, and this is what I don't want, the other person has a choice to say, that doesn't work for me, or I don't want to know you anymore, or I don't want to be friends. And it can be that some people don't like you having boundaries, and that they do turn away or they complain when you try to put a boundary. But that is about them. That is not about you. Your compliance benefits them. Some people are taking advantage in this way. It's not because you didn't communicate it correctly. It's not because you're bad at explaining your needs. I used to have almost no boundaries. I'd stay in relationships for much longer than I should have. And that was because I couldn't bear to say the things that had to be said, knowing how much it was going to hurt the other person. And what I'm learning now, it feels like the next level learning, is how to put this into action and hold my space and hold my boundaries, but still be charming. Because boundaries don't have to feel sharp or uncomfortable or like you're going against someone else. They can feel warm and grounded, firm, yet comfortable. This is where maturity comes in for boundaries. It's not about shutting people out. It is about staying true to yourself. But that can come with a lot of kindness and a lot of space for other people. It takes practice. It's like you don't become strong by reading books about strengthening. You have to go to the gym and work your muscles to get your muscles to become strong. And there's no difference with building your boundaries. It's like you have to work out, you have to practice getting those boundaries working. So life keeps bringing those lessons for one to grow more. And of course, we make mistakes along the way, or it can look messy sometimes. So if you feel that you're still bad at boundaries, don't beat yourself up. It really is a learning curve. And you'll keep growing and you'll keep expanding your capacity, and it'll keep getting better and easier to say your truth. The goal isn't to stop feeling fear. It's to know that you have this fear and you're staying connected inside of yourself, and yet you can still be your honest self and say what you need to say, so that you're inviting into that relationship the reality of who and how you are. Because if you place a boundary in a relationship and then that relationship is destroyed, it wasn't your boundary that ended that relationship. It was just revealed that your truth couldn't be held in that relationship, and so it wasn't for you. So even though it may feel like losing something, we lose that person, or we feel like we're losing them, actually, it leads to clarity, and clarity leads to freedom. In this culture, we treat emotional healing like it's a luxury that we don't have time for. And maybe rich people have time for it, or when we're not working, or after the kids are grown. But your nervous system doesn't care about your schedule. And for me, emotional healing saved my life. And one of the books that contributed to me learning about this work was Gabor Mate's When the Body Says No. So I'd like to share with you something that he says in there about boundaries. He says, "The only people who are upset by your boundaries are those who are benefiting from you having none." Yeah, amazing. That's from When the Body Says No, in which he's looking at physical illnesses and how they're connected to the suppressed emotions and stressors within the nervous system. He talks about personality types, having different types of physical symptoms, including cancer and chronic illness, both of which I had. I was bedbound for years and years and years. So this work has literally allowed me to be slow traveling the world. I'm coming to you now from a rooftop in Spain. The beach is a 15-minute walk away. And I'd like to share with you now a very short 1-minute exercise to see how you feel about boundaries. I'll just share it with you. If you can't do it right now, let's say you're out and about or you're just listening to this and you're driving or something, maybe you want to save this video and do this later. I usually suggest to people that you watch the exercise and see what reaction you get in yourself. And then if you feel happy to, then do it with me. So you may want to just watch and then rewind and do it. We'll see how you feel. If you feel very stable, if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of illness or symptoms right now and you feel safe to do this, then just join in. So we start by taking a breath. And I want you to make a sound on the exhale. We could do it on the next one. So the reason for making a sound on the exhale is to connect to your inner world. So you might want to put a hand on your chest, see if you can feel a vibration, like so I can feel that through my hand. See if you get any sensation of a vibration in your throat, your face, your chest. And then we're going to simply lift up one hand. Firstly, notice how that feels for you, just watching me do that. Or if it looks like anything, if you get any thoughts, what does that mean to you? Do you get any emotional reaction? And then we're going to just very gently push that hand out. Now, I didn't choose to make that sigh. It felt like it just happened automatically in me because there's some tension happening in my chest. I share with you what's happening in me to help your nervous system co-regulate and move or shift whatever it wants to bring up. Can you hear the birds? And we can say something like, these are my boundaries. You look at the hand, you sense into, is this arm strong? Do I have muscle here? Is it stronger than I thought it would be? Does it feel good? Does it feel strong? Does it feel empowering? Or does it feel scary? Is fear coming up? Is tension rising in me? I've got tension coming into my throat. I've got a sore throat developing. That's emotions as a reaction to what I'm doing. That's past, suppressed stresses. And then we're going to put that hand on our heart, which is a soothing, reassuring, grounding motion. Can you do another breath? In through the nose, out through the mouth with a sound. It could be ooh, ah, on the out breath. See if you can feel it through your hand, that vibration. See if that feels grounding to you. See if emotions come, do tears come, or do you feel soothed? Notice what's happening in you. Do you feel strengthened? Do you feel that fear has come up? Leave me a comment. Tell me what's happening for you if you choose to do this. Or tell me if you get a reaction just from watching as well, because it can be quite strong just to watch someone else do something. Your nervous system will still respond just through watching and hearing the words. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for being here. I will link below to more somatic practices in case this is something that interests you, and to meditations and sound healing, guided music to help you connect to your emotions. Also links to all my free resources on my website. There is a book I've created for you, The Roadmap to Nervous System Healing, that you can also get for free. So let me know what you think or what's going on for you. I'm really happy that you're here. Take good care of yourself.